Have you ever entered a relationship where you knew the relationship was not right for you, but you rationalized all the red flags away, essentially gaslighting yourself? Watch this video because I'm going to share some important tips for you to break the cycle. For more tips on how to take charge of your love life, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I definitely want you to join my free masterclass. I talk about 3 unconscious habits and mistakes that singles make that block them from love. I'll leave the link below. So let's talk about why you keep gaslighting yourself and not trusting your choices or even honoring your own needs, right? Well, at some point in your life, you were taught to invalidate your own feelings and needs. And this may have been conditioning as a child, from family of origin. If you grew up in a home where there was tremendous chaos and fighting, and the fights never resolved into a healthy resolution, or you were in a home where feelings were not expressed, that it was bad to even have feelings, that you need to suck it up and be strong, you may have been conditioned to invalidate your feelings, to hide them, stuff them down, right? It doesn't always have to be a chaotic and dysfunctional family. It could also be a very loving family that didn't validate your feelings or didn't know how to. Someone that grew up in these type of environments may have been programmed to seek outside validation instead of learning how to validate themselves because so little was done at home. And a lot of coping habits can manifest from seeking validation from others, such as people pleasing, where you earn your love, rescuing people because you believe that if you love them hard enough, they'll never leave you and they'll always need you and love you. And the classic perfectionists, where everything has to be perfect in order for you to be loved. With any of these coping habits, it's really focused on other people and not yourself. And it's a distraction from you doing the work for yourself, probably because you may think your needs don't matter because you were invalidated as a child and you struggle with being vulnerable, not only within yourself, but with other people. The way to breaking this is authenticity. It is the key to heal from these coping habits that you have, stepping into your truth, stepping into your feelings, really expressing yourself, your boundaries, your needs. It's actually the only way that you can develop self-trust. So this part is really not just being authentic with another person, but learning how to be authentic with ourselves, even through the icky feelings that we have that aren't so great, whether it's shame or embarrassment, really learning how to process them and understand those feelings, sitting with your feelings. If we're unable to acknowledge those feelings, we essentially dismiss them. And when we dismiss them and gaslight ourselves, we're invalidating our feelings. And guess what happens? We tend to invite people that do the same to us. So if you think about your past partners and the people you've dated, were they emotionally unavailable? Did they dismiss your feelings? Right? Because you're doing it yourself, you're not seeing it as a red flag when somebody's doing it to you. And so that's why when you draw boundaries with yourself and start validating your own feelings, you will start meeting partners and inviting people that validate your feelings as well. Tip number 2 is get used to disappointing people. I know it must be hard to do this as a people pleaser. However, it's a habit, right? Start learning how to express what you're feeling, your needs, your happiness, your sadness, whatever you're feeling at that moment, express it to another person. Now, vulnerability is key to this. You need to spoon feed it to people, right? They're used to seeing you act a certain way. You may actually lose some friends by being vulnerable and honest about your truths, but to me, it acts as a filtering system whether somebody belongs in your life or not. So if you share something and someone judges you, or they're making you feel small, or making you feel like you're less than, then you got to take a step back and reevaluate this relationship and be like, wait a minute, I was vulnerable with you about something and this is how you treat me? Well, I don't think I want you in my life because my standard is this. I want somebody to be fully accepting of me, support me, and love me unconditionally when I share these deepest thoughts. Tip number 3 is to let go of your need to fix other people. And I'm talking about you empaths out there that have difficulties with boundaries. You need better boundaries. Listen, you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because it's making me happy? Or am I doing this out of obligation? There's two different energies. And honestly, you should be spending all your energy working on yourself and rescuing yourself before you can rescue anyone else, right? What do they say? When, there's an emergency, put your mask on first before you can put it on for someone else. It's a coping mechanism and it feels so good. But you really need to ask yourself, what void am I trying to fill? What am I missing in my own life? Instead of investing in someone else, it's time to take that energy and invest it in yourself to meet your own needs. Now I want to hear from you. Do you struggle with people pleasing, rescuing, being a perfectionist? Leave your comments below. You're not alone. We're here to help each other. And if you need some support in this process of breaking these habits, I'm here to help you as well. Visit me at amythedatingcoach.com. I have workshops, I have private coaching, ways to support you, and e-learning courses that will help you break these habits and find lasting love. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video.